Here's my Fortnite Save the World in-depth weapon review for the Steam Thrasher Scythe. You can get this scythe from Pirate LLamas, and of course my supporter creator code is Salvaje. So let's get straight into the video. Is this a top tier melee weapon? Absolutely, guys. I mean, I have used a pretty decent amount of scythes, and this is so far my favorite scythe in the game, and I might actually level up my Harvester Sarah. Harvester Sarah is a hero that specializes on scythe damage for my newer Save the World players, and literally just make a scythe related loadout because, again, I had a lot of fun testing out this weapon. So what makes this weapon such a top tier melee weapon? Well, any basic husk that stands in front of you is going to get completely melted. And I just want to point out also, I did not test this weapon with full legendary perks because a lot of the casual players that play Save the World are never going to be able to get a lot of weapons to full legendary perks. They only like, of course, you know, putting only specific weapons to full legendary perks. And I have to say that if you want a melee based loadout, you absolutely should put this thing on full legendary perks. I actually have critical rating on my Steam Thrasher all the way up to legendary because, of course, I wanted to maximize the damage that I was going to be getting with this weapon as I was testing it, and maximizing I did. When it comes down to things like Husky Husk and blasters and takers, the scythe is also going to be dishing out some pretty good damage. However, throughout my testing, I realized that this scythe isn't extremely amazing when it comes down to smashers. Maybe because I didn't have a loadout that fully maximized the scythe, but with that said, I still think this scythe is top tier. I don't like to review weapons based on their individual performance, and I like to sort of, you know, put gadgets into the field of play and traps and teammate abilities and teammate fire and all that stuff. Long story short, in a team-based environment, this is going to be a top tier melee weapon and probably the best scythe in the game, quite honestly. And the reason why I want to entertain that thought is because the secondary attack that this scythe has is basically what makes it special. If you have a lot of basic husk around you or a lot of low health targets around you, you can hold down your secondary fire button, and then your hero's constantly going to be spinning around and constantly dealing damage to a lot of the enemies that are around it, and they're going to get completely melted. I really enjoy doing this with Anti-Cuddle Sarah, which is of course a hero that after you get a melee kill, you're going to be receiving energy. And by the way, you can still obtain Anti-Cuddle Sarah at the time of making this video, guys, from the Lovestorm storyline. Make sure that you do your Lovestorm storyline because Anti-Cuddle Sarah is a top tier hero. If you want more information on why she's a top tier hero, check out my hero overview on her. But anyways, long story short, the secondary attack is able to add in a lot of value, whether it's in destroy the encampments or just a mission that you're defending in general. One of the things that you can do is you can swing your scythe a couple of times to weaken the high health targets like Husky Husk and then just spin it around. You can also, of course, combine the secondary attack with other abilities in Save the World. Like, for example, I really enjoyed testing out this weapon with Fragment Flurry Jess. I would throw down my Teddy and my Shock Tower. You know, those two gadgets were going to lower the health of a lot of targets around me. I would just spin around and everything around me was just going to be getting melted from 0 to 100 real quick. However, I just want to point out that, yeah, you know, this scythe is a little bit bugged, sadly, okay? So long story short, sometimes if the enemies get up close to you, like literally right in front of you, you're not going to be able to damage them with your secondary attack. Another thing that I noticed throughout my, I think I tested this one for about an hour and a half, but another thing that I noticed is that sometimes you swing your sword using the secondary attack and primary attack, and you actually don't damage the opponents because you're actually too close to them. Another bug that I noticed also as I was testing the scythe is that sometimes you would start spinning around and then you would stop spinning, right? But then your hero would just do like a stabbing animation with the scythe and it would basically not let you do anything. If this happens to you, all you have to do is just equip another melee weapon in that spot where your scythe is actually at, and the bug should be leaving. I think I'm gonna put a gameplay example of that. Actually, I should probably do that. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed my time using this scythe. I have critical rating, critical damage on it. I have heavy attack efficiency so that I can maximize the secondary attack. I also have snare and damage to snare targets. I am also most likely going to be doing an affliction build with this scythe, you know, if I get another one, which I'm pretty sure I will, because I think affliction on this scythe would be a little bit entertaining, specifically with a brand new ninja that we're getting later today that's going to be focusing on affliction. Overall, a really decent scythe, and of course, when it comes down to the star rating, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars, guys. This is a respectable melee weapon. This is what a top tier melee weapon looks like in Save the World. Just consistent in multiple areas of play. You don't really need a loadout to maximize it. Overall, I'm really happy with what Epic brought us with this Steam Thrasher. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you guys on the next one.